This is meteorologist Todd Shea with the La Crosse National Weather Service with an update on the winter storm that will be impacting the area on Thursday, February the 20th. Again, a significant winter storm is expected to move through the region here. The first effects of this storm will be in the form of a mixture of precipitation types, mainly along and south of Interstate 90. But the brunt of the storm is expected to move in later on Thursday, with heaviest snow developing from northern Iowa, extending across southeastern Minnesota into northern Wisconsin. In this heavy snow band, in combination with strong northwest winds that will be developing, we are expecting blizzard conditions, significant drifting, and the possibility of some roads becoming impassable. The weather will quiet down overnight Thursday night, but you still could see some lingering impacts well into Friday morning. Looking at our weather story graphic, you can see the areas where we're expecting the biggest threat for heavy snow from northern Iowa, again across southeastern Minnesota and into the northwest half of Wisconsin, where a wintry mix of precipitation will keep the snowfall totals a bit lower south and east of La Crosse. The threat of significant blowing and drifting, including blizzard conditions, mainly exists west of the Mississippi River in the opener land and flatter terrain of parts of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Even so, on the Wisconsin side, though, winds will become strong enough, especially by Thursday evening, to cause significant blowing and drifting as well. The regional snowfall forecast looks something like this, where you have the heaviest snow band extending from, again, parts of northeast Iowa into far southeast Minnesota, and then continuing on northward into most of the north and northwest half of Wisconsin. Looking at some main timelines here, during the early morning hours on Thursday, again, a winter weather advisory is in effect for areas mainly along and south of Interstate 90. We do expect a mix of precipitation to develop overnight. By mid-morning into the afternoon hours tomorrow, the warnings will be in effect. Most of this mixture of precipitation will change over to snow, although mainly to the east and south of La Crosse. From southwest Wisconsin into central Wisconsin, a mixture is still possible as warmer air pushes up ahead of this storm. Heavier snow back on the colder side of the storm will continue to pile snow up from, again, northern Iowa across southeastern Minnesota and into western Wisconsin, and the winds will begin to increase during this time frame. From mid to late afternoon into Thursday night, any remaining mixture of precipitation will change back over to snow. The heavy snow will be going in earnest, and with those strong northwest winds developing, blizzard conditions are expected, again, mainly west of the Mississippi River. The snow does wind down late Thursday evening, but the winds are expected to stay up well into Friday. Another way to look at it is on this graphical timeline with a mixture of precipitation Thursday morning, but by late Thursday morning, snow rates do start picking up, and they will continue to be heavy in parts of the region well into Thursday evening. The strongest winds overlap that to a certain extent through much of Thursday afternoon into the evening, and that's when travel will be at its worst, anywhere from mid-Thursday afternoon, 3 or 4 o'clock, let's say, well to about midnight on Thursday evening. Currently, we have a combination of advisories and warnings in effect for the area. The warnings mainly extend from far western Wisconsin and the northwest part of the state across much of southern Minnesota and the northern half of Iowa. Worst type of warnings are the blizzard warnings you see in orange here that mainly cover southern Minnesota and northern Iowa for those favored open areas that will see significant travel issues come Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. Our latest snowfall forecast, which is subject to be adjusted as we get closer to this snowfall event, generally shows 6 to 10 inches, covering a big chunk of the area from the Mason City, Charles City, Iowa areas across Rochester, Austin, and Wabasha, Minnesota, continuing on up towards Eau Claire and parts of northern Wisconsin, with lighter snowfalls as you get into central, southern, and southwest Wisconsin. So when we look at impacts, again, we are expecting the possibility of a few travel problems already at daybreak Thursday due to some mixture of precipitation moving through. But as the heavy snow develops by late morning, those high snowfall rates will make it very difficult to keep roads in good driving conditions. Worse conditions can be expected west and north of the city of La Crosse. Strong north winds develop Thursday afternoon, leading to blizzard conditions, whiteouts, especially in Minnesota and Iowa, where wind gusts will be at times 40 to 50 miles per hour. Roads will become impassable in locations, and unfortunately we could see stranded motorists. On Friday morning, the snow does end early, but west and northwest winds will be rather strong still the start of the day and then diminish through the day. Roads in open and higher areas could remain impassable for a time until road crews can get out and clean things up. Would not be surprised, in addition to any school delays or closings on Thursday, that we could see some of that again on Friday. We'd urge you off of our main web page, the National Weather Service La Crosse, to click on the Winter Monitor tab and go to our web page that has pretty much everything you need to monitor weather conditions when winter weather is at its worst and moving through our region.